Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be talking about just a topic that I thought would be a little bit different, a little bit more interesting, and that is some of the rarest films that I own in my collection. Now when I say rarest, I don't really mean something that is now out of print, something that was released by a studio for a limited time and had ran out. No, I'm just talking about the actual movies. Some of these movies never really saw the light of day past a VHS release, or maybe didn't even get a VHS release, just were made and shelved. And I just thought it would be an interesting topic. I watched this video on YouTube last year by a massive YouTube channel that has been going for years. And they touched on some of the movies that were really hard to obtain, really hard to get hold of. You couldn't, order these online from a legitimate, label. And I just thought, you know what, that'd be an interesting topic to talk about, an interesting to sort of delve into some of these movies, and whether anyone who watches this video has seen these movies. I just thought it will be fun to talk about. So I've got 6 titles here, but I was going to have 7. But the first movie I'm going to show was a movie that actually, tail end of last year, did get a Blu-ray release, finally, but it was a cut version of the film, and that is Michael Mann's The Keep. So I was going to talk about this one, but it did get a Blu-ray release, fortunately, not too long ago, a few months ago. So yeah, that's Michael Mann's The Keep. The next one, well, the first one that I really sort of want to shed some light on is a Disney movie. It's one of their earlier movies, and it is, of course, Song of the South. This is a movie that Disney have pretty much disowned. They have distanced themselves from this movie. They've just put a massive wedge between this movie and themselves. And it was a movie that I did not grow up with. I did not see this movie till I was in my early 30s. So not too long ago. I had no idea what the movie was about. I had no idea what the controversy was. No idea. Just knew that it was something that Disney weren't too proud of. And I watched the movie, managed to get hold of a copy, watched it, and I thought it was a well-made film. The blend of live action and animation, which Disney would go on to do, several more times after this movie. And yeah, I just thought the movie was what it was, I liked some of the songs in it. The animation was good. But yeah, I can understand why Disney have distanced themselves from it, given the climate that we're in right now with everything. And yeah, I just got what I got from the movie. I just thought it was fine. It was well made, technically. But yeah, can understand why people would feel the way they do about it. It just, I don't really have any nostalgia for this movie. I just knew of it. It was one of these movies that was there. It just was in, sort of, you knew of its presence, you knew of its awareness, but I just had never seen the movie in full, did not know what it was about, did not know the controversy that it holds today, just didn't know. So I wanted to see the movie, I wanted to educate myself about the movie, watch it, and yeah, it was an alright film in my opinion. Well made, but yeah, understand the controversy. So that's Song of the South. The next one we've got is a movie from the late 70s, and that is Looking for Mr. Good Bart, starring Diane Keaton.
You were supposed to write an essay about personal conflict. Obviously, most of you never hope to write anything more literate than a personal check. This paper is an exception. At least it's legible.
So, yeah, again, this was a movie that, I've got to be honest, I was a little bit disappointed with it. I was just really intrigued to sort of see what this movie was about, but it was a bit overly long for me. I did enjoy it. It sort of came out round about the same time as Annie Hall, also starring Diane Keaton, and that was a critical hit. It won Best Picture. Diane Keaton won Best Actress at the Oscars. It was well received, that movie. And this one, I think, sort of came out around about the same time, but it just seems to have been forgotten to time, this film. And the thing that I got from it the most was the ending was just so memorable, and it stuck with me. And for me, it was the best part of the film, without a shadow of a doubt. I just really, really enjoyed it. That ending, really, really solid. I didn't see it coming. But yeah, don't want to go into spoilers with it if you've not seen this film. But again, because this list is just, about the rarest films, these are films that I really, really had to go out of my way to obtain, and really had to, delve deep and try and find them. But yeah, this one, it was all right. It just wasn't as memorable as its ending. Its ending was the shining star of the movie for me. So yeah, that's Looking for Mr. Goodbar. Next up, we've got a movie, I believe, from 1981, and that is Little Darlings.
Angel versus Ferris. Whoever loses her virginity first wins.
So again, this is a movie that has kind of been made more aware of nowadays. I'm seeing it more in other YouTube channels, other people talking about it in topics and things like that. And this was a much better film, in my opinion. It's definitely one that would not be made today, without a shadow of a doubt, given its subject matter and its topic. It sort of follows these two girls who end up going on this sort of camping trip. And one of the girls at this camping trip, she's not one of the main two girls in it, but she's just vile. Just one vile individual. Did not like her at all, but she was supposed to be in the movie. And it's sort of about these other two girls who, they have this bet kind of forced upon them by this vile girl in the movie to sort of, who can lose their virginity first. And I don't want to say how the movie pans out or how it plays out, but its ending was very sort of, I don't know, it was very, very satisfactory to me just because of how they dealt with it and what they did. It was very sort of, it was a bit more modest than what I thought it was going to be. I just enjoyed this movie. I thought it was great. I thought the two leads have great chemistry. And it panned out. The supporting cast was great. Apart from the vile girl, she was just not a nice character. But yeah, there's a few familiar faces in this movie as well. A few, actors who, this was an early role for them in this movie. You can sort of recognise them, how young they look. But overall, it was a good film. I enjoyed it. Really solid film. So that's Little Darlings. So next up, we've got a couple of DVDs now. And this first one is starring Randy Quaid. And it is Dead Solid Perfect. So this is a late 80s, I believe it's a made-for-TV movie, but judging by the cast in this film, you wouldn't guess that at all. It's got a great soundtrack as well by Tangerine Dream. If you like your golf movies, this one's definitely one worth checking out. This again is a movie that the quality of this is not the best because again, was one of these movies that was stuck on TV. It may have had a very limited VHS release. You can see this movie on YouTube every now and again. It does pop up and yet taken down, put back up, taken down, and so on and so on. But yeah, it's, no pun intended, it's a good, solid movie. It really does work. Randy Quaid, bit more of a serious role for him. So used to seeing him being so daft and silly in the vacation movies and his over-the-top role in Independence Day. But this was a much, much more grounded role for him. Really, really enjoyed it. Good, solid movie. Love the way the movie looks. If you like movies, that take place on golf courses and have, that golf sports theme about them, this one's definitely worth checking out. See if it's still on YouTube if you're interested. But yeah, I enjoyed this one for what it was. So that's Dead Solid Perfect. Next up, we've got this was kind of a gangster movie, but this one took me by surprise. So it stars Vincent D'Onofrio, and that is Naked Tango.
I don't need this. I use yours.
So I believe this one as well was stuck on VHS, and the VHS for this, I believe the price for it is just absolutely astronomical to get this film on VHS. It is insane, I believe, how expensive it is. But yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio in this film was frightening. I could not believe how much this movie disturbed me, if I'm honest. This isn't like it, you know, it's not like a video nasty level of film or anything like that, but there's things in it that just really sort of disturb me when you watch a movie like that for the first time, when you see like something like, you know, Scarface or RoboCop for the first time, something like that, you know, it sticks out with you, it's memorable. This movie's not as good as those films, but it just had moments in it that just was like, whoa, okay, that's a bit brutal. Wasn't expecting that at all. But yeah, it kind of sort of follows these two brothers who they kind of kidnap this girl and they keep her against her will. And she's just trying to constantly get out. She's the girl who I believe was in Tobe Hooper's Life Force. But they just sort of keep her at their house, and they just don't really sort of let her go. She's just trying to get away constantly. But Vincent D'Onofrio is just the more evil of the two, and he just really, really unsettled me in this film with the way he sort of kills people, treats people. I don't know, but it's one of these erotic thrillers from the 90s. But again, it was just shunned for whatever reason. The movie just has not had any sort of treatment to it, any sort of, you know, decent release. A bit like Dead Solid Perfect, it's been trapped on the VHS format for a long time. But I managed to find a copy of this film. It wasn't easy, but yeah, if you can check it out. Again, it's similar to Dead Solid Perfect. I believe there may be the odd YouTube video for it available to watch if it has not been pulled. But yeah, this one, something about it just disturbed me. It was just brutal in parts. But yeah, that's Naked Tango. So the last film I have is a movie from 1984. Cast of this movie is just absolutely insane. Zach Gilligan, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray as well. How could I forget? But yeah, this is Nothing Lasts Forever.
All right. Good. Oh, I'll go on again, but this is the last time.
So, yeah, this is one that has eluded a lot of people. This is probably one of the more well-known movies that's really hard to get hold of from the sort of the mid-early 80s. But again, no official release at all. Nothing past VHS or any sort of TV broadcast that I believe. Anyway, hard movie to get hold of. It stars Zach Gilligan, who pretty much is this musician, but he's a bit of a fraud with his musician, and he gets found out. So what he decides to do is, you know what, I'm gonna learn the profession the proper way, and I'm gonna do it and earn it the right way. And the movie just kind of takes off from there. It's a very bizarre, very surreal, very abstract movie. Yeah, seeing Bill Murray as well, kind of like in a villainous role in this movie, was very odd. It's definitely got a love story element to it as well. But yeah, it was just a bizarre film. The bulk of it is in black and white. There's some odd colour scenes here and there, but because the movie has just not been treated well, the quality of it is not great. But it's a good, solid movie anyway. It was a good, refreshing film to watch. It's not perfect by any means, but it's just one of these movies that is on the verge of becoming extinct and forgotten. And yeah, I think all of these movies need a decent release, to be honest, just so they don't get forgotten as well. But yeah, that's nothing lasts forever. So yeah, that is it, guys. Those are, just a small selection, 6 movies that, for me, are some of the hardest to obtain. Well, I believe anyway, so I've been told. But yeah, I enjoyed these movies to some level anyway. But yeah, let me know, have you seen any of these? Do you have any rare movies yourselves in your collection that you enjoy? But yeah, I just thought it would be a fun topic to discuss anyway. So yeah, gonna leave the video there, guys, and say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.